Some of the physical changes that I found involved in cooking were the melting of solids. So, for example, butter. When you start melting butter on a pan, when you're about to cook something in it, it changes from a solid to more of a liquid. Another one I found is the boiling of liquids such as water. So, for example, when you put water in a pot and you put it on the stove and you know you're about to boil something like noodles, you have to wait until you start seeing the bubbles. And so, once you see the bubbles, you know that it's boiling, and then there's steam coming off of it too, as well. So, and then another one I found is the cutting up of an apple. And so, when you cut up an apple, you're changing the physical shape and size of it, but you're not changing anything chemically. And then some chemical changes that I found were baking a cake was an example. The flour in the cake is undergoing a chemical change from when you mix it up with all the ingredients and pour it in the pan. And when it's in the oven, a chemical reaction is happening, which causes the flour to rise and causes the cake to fill out the entire pan. Another example of a chemical change is the boiling of an egg into a hard-boiled egg. When you first get an egg out of the fridge, inside of it is the yolk, and it's very liquidy, but when you boil it for a certain amount of time at a certain temperature, this changes the egg from that liquidy state that it started in to when it's finally done boiling and you get it out, it's a hard-boiled egg, and it's more solid and firm, and when you crack it, it's not going to spill out of the egg, it's going to be a solid hard-boiled egg. And then lastly, another chemical change that I found that happens in the kitchen is making popcorn. So when you put popcorn in the microwave, it starts out with just the kernels in the bag, and the bag is super flat. And then as time goes on in the microwave, these kernels that are inside start to heat up. And once they get to a certain temperature, a chemical reaction starts to occur, and they pop into the white, fluffy popcorn that it usually looks like.